I thought I'd better come on and tell y'all howdy doody. I've been working today trying to clean out one of my back den storeroom areas, because if I'm going to do this videos, I need to have a place that I can videotape in where we can delve into things that are not just cooking. If we want them, if I have a craft idea, if I have any idea, then I need it to where I can do something besides right here over this stove. So that's what I'm thinking about doing, and that's what I've been doing, just kind of going through stuff, kind of cleaning out that area, and trying to get it not retrofitted, trying to get it fitted for video. The lighting, the props, all that stuff that I'm learning about. Went to the grocery store earlier, had to go get some grape juice. And they had these baby cut carrots for $1.49 for that big old bag. Can you believe that? So I'll use those. Oh, look, the pepper plant put one little stubby pepper, but I went ahead and pulled it off. I didn't wait till it got big because I was afraid them old fiddleback looking bugs would chow down on it. So I said, nope, we're not going to do that. That pepper bushes are full. They're little bitty baby at the top. Be about like that little area right there is what it looks like. Just like that with some, so it means it's going to get big, y'all. We're going to have a big crop of jalapeno peppers and the cherry poppers or popper cherries, peppers, whichever one's not hot, so we'll see. Y'all have this. Y'all like that blue Delft ironstone? This blue. I think this was made in England. I'm not sure. I've got a lot of my blue. This is blue Delft here. I've got a lot of that blue. I found this and washed it, and I thought, I'm going to put them. Then, look what I did. This was a piece I got from Italy. Oh, signed piece. It was my pasta bowl, and damn it, if I didn't go and just hit that on the side of the table, and it broke right down into my bowl. I'm going to try to repair that. Used to, when I was in the antique industry and we needed to repair something, not to make people not be honest with them, but if they brought a piece in, like a piece of myosin or something like that, this guy told me to use that fingernail, what you make sculptured fingernails with, the powder and the stuff you mix to put on those sculptured nails. So you can fix this stuff with that, and then you can even take a glass paint and fix it. This piece is probably worth it because I used it a lot with my pasta and stuff. Not that I have dinner parties anymore. I don't know, but it's just the thought of me breaking something. But that's nothing new. If Billy Jean isn't messing up something, he's breaking it. Wonder I hadn't broke a bunch of my Fiesta ware. Frankoma. I love Frankoma. Mr. Frank's made up close to Tulsa. That's where it got its name, Frankoma. There's Frankoma. This is spoon rest. I've got the milk pitcher. Look here. Old milk pitcher. Now I think this came to me from a family, and that may be what started my want. Here's a covered, little covered And I bought this one at a yard sale. I didn't know what they had. It's $3. See, look at that. There's the price on it, $3. But they put it in Sharpie. There's probably a way to get that off. Not that I need to buy anymore, but every time I see that that color, there are two different color greens in that, but every time I see that, I get it. Not that I need it. That and the false graph that I love so much. Oh, I love it all, y'all. I've got some beautiful stuff. But Mother said, Betty Jane, did we have any more of them butter cookies? I said, no, Mama. The last brown butter cookie went to you last night. Well, matter of fact, half of it went to her and half of it went to me. Flour. I kind of shook some flour and it's gone everywhere because we're going to make something. We're going to make something. So she said, well, I hate that we don't have any more of those brown, or she said, I hate that we don't have any more of those sugar cookies. I said, well, I hate too, Mama, but I said, we don't really need the sugar. And she said, I know, but I sure like them. I said, well, I do too. So I decided I'm going to make an old-timey, easy. This will be the easiest dessert cake you've ever made in your life. Literally. It's a one-pan wonder. Not a one-man wonder, but a one-pan wonder. We're going to use our black skillet for it. That's the way I saw it done. And if you like chocolate and you like cinnamon, I added the cinnamon because I like it. But if you like chocolate, you can not have to add cinnamon. Then you're going to like this Depression era cake. But to me, it wasn't Depression era. It was Granny's cake, quick cake. And we didn't even ice it, and we're not going to ice this one. You can if you want to, but we would cut it and then put a slab of butter on it, and it was good cake. I'll be right back. Now on this cake, y'all, you don't need milk or eggs. You're just going to use flour and sugar, and I'm going to use sugar with partly sweetener. Your Hershey's cocoa powder, salt, little vegetable oil, some apple cider vinegar. Now you can't use white vinegar, you gotta have your apple cider vinegar. Vanilla extract, can't forget the Mexican vanilla, arriba. And then the 1 cup of water. So first what we're gonna do, y'all, is we're gonna get a 1.5 cups of your all-purpose white flour. But this is not all-purpose. So, what I do to that then, y'all know what I do to that, don't you? I take 1 teaspoon. You can use your all-purpose 1.5 cup, but for this I'm going to do 1.5 teaspoon of each. For 1 cup, I do 1 teaspoon. My baking powder. That was 1.5 teaspoon of the cornstarch. So then I take my Clabber Girl and I put, let me round that off, 1.5 for her. Since I don't have all-purpose, I just buy the regular. And what I'll do here is, you want that mixed. You don't want it to, but you can just put that in your iron skillet. See, it's easy. So 1.5 cup of all-purpose flour here. I use this as my flour sifter instead of those new Fandango gadgets that I've got you squeeze and they get They do it all. Well, I don't do it, y'all. I don't do it. You. Let me get a fresh towel. Let me get a fresh towel. Granny Pat's gonna send me a bunch of dish towels. I told her just to wait, because one day I'm gonna go visit her pretty soon, I hope. Be nice. I don't know. I have to, you know, take care of Mom, so it's not that easy. Okay, we sifted our flour in there, so let's get a half a cup. Now, most of you will use a cup. A cup. And I just measure it out. If I can't find my measuring cup, then I go to this line. So I know that's a half a cup of sugar. That's about a half a cup of white sugar. Y'all will put in a whole cup of white sugar. Now today I'm going to use Splenda. We're going to try Splenda. So we'll do about a half a cup of Splenda. Okay. We don't need all that sugar. We're going to try it, ain't we? Aren't we? Okay, we got a half a cup and half a cup. Okay. Every time I do, when I do something, I just stir so I can get this mixed up very well. Now you can use your 8 by 8 inch ungreased cake pan if you want to. You don't have to use skillet. I just do because that's what I just do. I do it because I do it. I want that stirred up pretty good in that skillet though, because I don't want that baking powder. If you don't get that baking powder stirred up, it'll be a bitter lump in there and you'll think, what is that? Ooh, that's awful. What is that bitterness? Well, it's because the baking powder was not stirred. You want that stirred up. And two, we've got to add a teaspoon of baking soda, so go ahead and put your Granny Pat laughs at my big old box of baking soda, but I don't care. It works. So you want your teaspoon of baking soda. Now, that'll be bitter too, so you better stir that up. Let's get that stirred up. Y'all, this is easy. You just dump it in. Messy mess. Look at this mess. Sometimes I'm a mess. I'm always a mess. But y'all put up with me. That's all I can say. I guess y'all like putting up with me. Okay, got baking soda. Now, cocoa powder. Remember, it's cocoa powder, cocoa powder. We want 4 tablespoons. Now, that's these big old things here. You want a big old. Now, this one is where I get kind of perfect with this. One. Two. 3. 4. And a little bit for good measure. Okay. Now then. Oh, I had to let the kitty in. I had to let my black and white kitty in. He said it's, Uncle Billy Jean, it's too hot out here. I can't stand it. I said, all right. I call him Snowflake. I said, all right, Snowflake. Let me let him out, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the cat out. Daddy put the cat out. I would never do this hard ever. Today I've got on my blue apron. Because I had on kind of some blue shoes. Okay. Now we got to put our salt in, so might be a half a teaspoon of salt. Let me get the, that's a 1/4 of a teaspoon. Oh, that's a half teaspoon. I can't have C today. I think got allergies. There's a half a teaspoon of salt. Now you want to mix this. Let's just mix this around. Y'all want to get this really well mixed, okay? No joking. No joking about that. You got to mix this. It's similar to a brownie recipe, but it don't have the egg and it doesn't have milk. It's just got dry ingredients and water and vanilla extract. This was all stuff that they had readily available. And on the farm and everything, we had it always readily available because you didn't, well, sometimes the cows didn't have cows milk. A lot of people didn't. Sometimes. I think that's pretty well mixed. Now, what I do, let me see if I can get a restaurant. So I'll tell you what, let me get my cake icing thing. So what I want to do is this is just because I was showed this away, that's why I'm doing it. I want to divide that in three little piles, okay? About as even as you can. I'm going to put that in three little piles. I don't know if I've never tried not doing it, so I don't know what it does or what it doesn't do. I know what it does do. It's just what I do. Then, I just put my little, I'll show you. And you may not have to do this, but I'm going to do it because I don't want it to not do. So, you do what you learn, and then just don't get off course with it. So in one of those little hills, those little ant hills, we're going to put 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Apple cider, mother vinegar. You don't have to have mother, but I do. That means acidity. So we want 1 tablespoon in our one little ant pile. Lord, I'm sure glad. I don't like fire ants, y'all. They have been everywhere around this part of the world. Okay, so now we will take 1 teaspoon, let's see, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. See how that's frothing already? Maybe that's why, y'all. See how that, let me get a teaspoon. I have a little, oh shoot, I put a little more than a teaspoon, but it'll just have to suffice, won't it, y'all? Gosh, I've got that all over me. Now I'm gonna smell like, you know, my grandmother said when they was young, that's what they put behind their earlobes, because they didn't have perfume, so they used vanilla. All right, we've got, let's do 6 tablespoons. This says vegetable oil, but we've got our olive oil and a little bit of bacon grease, and we're gonna try it. It can't hurt. So I hope I've got 6. There's 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's spilling over. 4. That's happened before. 6. Okay, that's 6. So that's 6. Okay. Now then, y'all. See, I think that this pile anthill here, the vinegar. I think that if it's mixed in, it wants it to froth a little bit before you mix it in. So I'm pretty sure maybe that's why they don't want it mixed in together. So now, see, you've got your anthills, vanilla, apple cider vinegar, and your vegetable oil, which is 6 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon, and 1 teaspoon. Then here we go, y'all. We are going to, I don't like using my dry measure for liquid, and I don't know where my good, not a dishwasher. Hold on. Let me find my measuring cup, y'all. I don't know what I could have done with it. Hold, I'll be right back. I found it. Look, it was in my Pyrex. It was in the dishwasher. Okay, so now we're going to take a cup of water. We're going to take a cup of water. Now, usually they'd use a fork. Okay, I'll use a fork just like they say. I'm gonna, okay, now you take a cup of water and you just pour it over the whole shooting match. That's all you do, y'all. You take that down and you mix it well. So, let's see. Let's see. Looks like we're making mud pies. Now I hope that me using only a half a cup of sugar, and then I didn't put cinnamon in this like I have or usually do. I'm just gonna make it just like the old cake. And you want to mix that good, okay? Make sure all that's mixed up real good. Now, I've made this cake and I've served it with cooked down cherry topping. I've served it with chocolate. I've served it with whipped cream. I've served it, of course, with butter. Just when it comes out of the oven, it's good, hot butter. Now, y'all, if you can't cook, I hear a lot of y'all say, I can't cook. Yes, you can. Don't say that. You do not say that. You can cook. You know, I found out over the years, the reason recipes fail, nearly, I would say 90% of the time, if they follow the directions, is because they have no patience to wait. And you spend all that time on the recipe, putting the exact amount in, and this and that, and give yourself time for it to bake before your family comes home, or before your boyfriend or girlfriend comes home, and you've got to serve it. You can't pull out something out of an oven, it'd be any good if it's dry or got soft spots in it. Now we've got that mixed pretty good. So y'all think about that. You know, you cannot rush something. You can't rush quality. And if you're cooking, it's quality. I have faith in y'all. I'm just going to wipe that off with this linen napkin just so I can clean up this skillet. Now that, y'all, is the easiest cake in the world you'll ever do. Now we will bake this at 350 degrees, and I'm going to use the convection oven, so I'm going to say 20 minutes. But for a regular oven, bake it at 350 for 30 to 40 minutes, and you can check it with a toothpick to see that the center comes out clean. And then we'll be back. I decided, I had told y'all that I had served that with a cherry. I cooked down the cherries myself and made a cherry topping for that chocolate pie before. So I had this, a great value cherry pie filling topping. There's no sugar added in this. So that means there's only like 4 grams of sugar and about 1/3 of a cup of this. So we're going to open that. Well, that's the cake's in the oven, everybody. And it doesn't taste bad at all. But now, if you're not worried about your sugar, then you can buy the cherry topping. This is a little bitter because of the sucrose or the sweetener in it. But if you don't want just chocolate cake without icing, this is a good alternative. And then get you some whipped cream and layer a dollop of whipped cream on it, and you'll have a chocolate cherry kind of a Black Forest low sugar dessert. And most people would be happy with that. So I was checking the cake, it's okay. Now on the cake, let me put this in here. On the cake, I put that on 250 because it's a convection oven, and I got to thinking, I don't want that on full speed. Being a convection oven, or that cake won't be fit to eat. Because I cook everything about, if it says 350, I cook it about 250. If it says 40 minutes, I cook it about 20 minutes. You just have to find your oven and find out what you need to do. I had some cherries. I had some cherries in the ice box, but I don't want to cook down for just this cake because when I make my grape jelly here pretty soon, I don't think it'll be today, but I have enough grapes that I am going to use in that, and I'm going to put those cherries in it just to give that. It won't be enough to even notice, but I don't want to waste nothing, so I'm going to put those cherries in it and grapes, and then I'm going to use grape juice. I went and bought a thing of 100% no sugar added grape juicy juice because I didn't want to buy any more of those berries, and you waste all the pulp once you make your jelly. There's very little left once you strain it. So I thought, I'm just going to make it. And you can just make your own homemade grape jelly from grape juice. You don't have to have grapes. And I've made it, and it's really good, and it lasts. And I was going to tell y'all, everybody was wondering about my egg separator. I've got the metal one, yes. And I've got a porcelain one, and I've got 2 or 3 plastic ones. But if you have one of these little, I think they're called frogs, or I don't know what they're called. Just put it over your bowl, put your egg in it, and it'll separate out. You don't have to worry about having a special egg separator. Any size of these will work. Just a little tip of the day for my friends. Okay, well, we've got our cherry here. Got that out of the can. I kind of squished that a little bit so it kind of And that'll be good layered on top of that chocolate depression cake. And I'm gonna go, and we'll be back in a little bit. Just as soon as I can get that out of the oven, then I'll check back and we'll look at what it did. Okay, let's see. We'll get our new little pot holder and we'll check our, let's see about our cake. It still likes a little bit. It's not done. I put my fingerprint in it, so y'all have to see my fingerprint. I thought it looked kind of done, but it didn't. See, you just got to check it. We'll be back. It's always good to have something to stick, because I've had dinner parties and I've made big desserts and stuff, and then I get, like I was telling y'all, antsy, but I should have took the pan out and checked it. I touched it and it left fingerprints. It's done that, but I've done that a million times. But that's why you always have an icing or something you can put over any little imperfection. It'll help you in the long run. Okay, we'll be back. Yeah, I was going to tell Granny Pat, she showed one of these on her that she had got at one of those stores. And I was going to tell her, well, Granny Pat, I have an electric one, so I've outdone you this time. It came with my submersion blender. And the motor goes, and then she was going to beat her eggs with this. Well, Granny Pat, you need a whisk, because this here is to mix cocktails, I think, drinks. But I had that, and then one that has a whisk that goes in it. You can take this one out, put the whisk down in there, and then it whisks. Or you can have all these attachments that go. I don't use it because I just have it. Because I flew buttermilk all over the kitchen with this thing, and I'll just use my hand whisk. Okay, we're going to check that now. It says we still got 5 minutes. And you can see that's those convection ovens. You can't get away from the cake splitting. And I don't think this one's done at all, but we're going to see. You still got a little chocolate on there, so that means it's not done. So we'll put her back in the oven. Okay, let's check our cake. Finally went off. Okay, now we'll give us a toothpick. Check inside, see there's no. So I think that's done, y'all. All over. I think that's done. Now I'm trying to decide. I'm going to let that cool. Let me see here. Where is my, let me try. I'm going to see about the edge around, just to see. You can tell a lot about a cornbread or a cake or anything by feeling around the edge. Now that's a thin cake, and that's fine, because we don't mind. You know, we don't mind about that. I think it'll come out just now. If that ain't the easiest cake that y'all have ever seen in your life, with ingredients of no milk or eggs, it's a good, delicious chocolate cake. And not very expensive. Ain't got no crazy ingredients. It's what you'd have. The chocolate, just get you a box of that Hershey's powder. You can use that in chocolate milk and cake and puddings and all that. But if I'm going to make a good German chocolate cake or anything like that, I use the German chocolate, the company. So let me let this cool a little bit and then I'm going to serve it. Okay, well, the cake cooled and I took 2 big old hunks of cake out of the pan. And then what I'm going to do is just take this cherry filling, layer a little bit, layer just a little bit onto the top. And as I told you, I do not have any whipped cream to add to this, but you could add a little powdered sugar or eat it just like this. So this is our easy chocolate cake. I'm going to get this mess cleaned up. I'm going to take Mother her glass of iced tea. Well, no, with this you'll want a glass of milk. So let's get I use these old jelly jars for our milk. And so that's what we're going to have today for dessert. Is our chocolate cherry, cake. This is our afternoon delight with our milk. I wish y'all was here to have a piece of cake with us. God bless you, God bless us, God bless the United States. We'll get on that grape jelly pretty soon, so y'all, I can't wait. I've got to have some grape jelly. I am OUT out. Bye-bye.